President Robert Mugabe is confronted with the toughest challenge yet in his near 28-year rule of Zimbabwe. Not only does he face 3 challenges in the March 29 election, Zimbabwe's dire economic situation puts Mugabe's iron-fisted rule in real jeopardy. With inflation at over 100,000%, the cost of living in Zimbabwe is skyrocketing. Economist Azza Jamin says no politician in the world has survived the levels of hyperinflation that Mugabe faces.
Even if he is re-elected, the economic conditions in Zimbabwe will deteriorate to such an extent that it will start influencing key persons even within the security establishment, and there will be ruptures within the party that will ultimately see him being toppled over.
For now, Mugabe remains defiant, blaming his country's economic woes on the West.
They have even interfered with the international organizations of which we are a member, the World Bank and the IMF, which cannot extend any facility to Zimbabwe unless America and Britain say so.
In what is seen by many as a blow to Mugabe's firm grip on power, his former finance minister Simba Makoni is running against him and is confident he will unseat Mugabe. Moeletsi Mbeki dismisses Makoni's presidential bid as hypocritical.
Mugabe has been rigging the elections all along. Simba Makoni was there as part of the Politburo of Zanu-PF, so he knew about the elections being rigged. So he was party to that whole process.
The main opposition movement for democratic change was severely weakened by a split in 2006. One faction is backing Makoni's bid, while the other, led by Morgan Tsvangirai, is going it alone. Human rights campaigners have condemned Mugabe's government for using brutal force to silence the opposition.
Zimbabweans have been urged to vote for President Robert Mugabe, as he is the only man capable of leading the people of Zimbabwe.
And using state resources, such as the media, to further the president's own political ends. With his party having fought 4 elections against the ruling Zanu-PF, Morgan Tsvangirai has found himself at the receiving end of Mugabe's repressive tactics. After these pictures of Tsvangirai having been beaten by security forces were beamed around the world in March last year, Mugabe was quoted as saying Tsvangirai asked for it. Today, many Zimbabweans are reluctant to criticize their president publicly, fearing reprisal. In what critics have labelled a vote-buying exercise, Mugabe recently increased the salaries of the police, the army and teachers, and also handed out machinery to black farmers. Zimbabwe's ambassador to South Africa denies this has anything to do with the upcoming election.
It has been going on. Nobody has talked about it before. And you are saying, why now? It's not now. It's a program.
Critics argue that Zimbabweans have been literally beaten into submission. They vote the only way they can express themselves freely. But with monitors who have been critical of previous elections banned from observing this one, there are already doubts whether the true will of the people will be known. Nkepile Mabuse, CNN, Johannesburg.